Hi, I'm John Pavlak, and welcome back to Ion Harness Racing. Much of the racing world has turned its eyes to the second major sale of the fall season, the Standardbred horse sale in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. As always, the prices paid at the top yearling sale set the economic tone for the sport. In Lexington, the prices on average were up 5.1%, which likely raised some optimism at Harrisburg. Our Ken Weingartner was at the farm sale arena in Harrisburg, where he filed this report.
Hi, I'm in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for the 74th annual Standardbred horse sale, where trainers and owners have come out to find the stars of tomorrow.
Right down here, done. $110,000. Thank you.
85, all done. 385, what's it back? 385, everybody 385, and Jimmy right over here, 380,000. Thank you.
4 horses sold for at least $300,000 on the opening day of the sale, led by sales topper Churchill Hanover, who went to trainer Mark Harder.
Yeah, he catches your eye, that's all you can say. He catches your eye, and obviously the sire, the family, just the whole package. Yeah. Gentleman and his wife from Australia. Yeah. I'm still a little shocked.
At 375, 375. The only thing I can do is ask one more time. 350 is bid. 375 in. Patrick, 350,000. Thank you.
Well, he had a great head, great eye. He was perfectly conformed. He's got a pedigree that's much deeper than the page shows. Goes back to one of my favorite families in Adora and Romola. And family woke up recently with the great pacing colt, Big Jim.
Sweet Talking Clyde. What did you like about that horse?
My brother had to have him.
Why is that?
He's like near and dear to the heart. It's the family, He had to have him.
So.
He's a beautiful animal. He's just a beautiful horse. But he was sat on him a few months ago. He's a beautiful colt. Actually, he doesn't have some of the attributes like Better Sweet has. Actually, he's a little straighter. He doesn't stand back on his knees. There's a lot of little things about him that I actually like better. I don't know if that's going to be better. The breeding, we wanted another Some Beach Somewhere colt, and he just kind of really fit the bill. Just a nice colt, really nice personality, and we just liked him. He was very interested in him, so we just did everything we had to do, and we bought him.
Feel pretty good about the buys you got?
Yes, yeah. And then Parnew's the brother to Power Pack and Philos. So there we go, another sentimental buy.
We had an extraordinary bunch of pacing colts selling today from all consigners. Wearing my Hanover hat, I would say that Hanover has both today and incoming days, the greatest group of pacing colts I've ever seen in 47 years of doing this. The trotting market was quite weak, and I really don't understand why. Like horses like Muscles Yankee, who's been a world-class stallion forever, a lot of them were just given away.
Want to own a racehorse, become a licensed driver, or find records of a retired standardbred you've started riding? Visit our comprehensive website to learn more about what the USTA can do for you.
Some of the sport's best followed their Breeders' Crown engagements with a trip to Shelbyville, Indiana this past weekend, where $1 million in purses were offered for a trio of open stakes. Foiled Again was the defending winner of the $200,000 Indiana Pacing Derby, and the sport's richest pacer of all time made short work of things. Driver Yannick Gingras pushed the buttons as Foiled Again lowered his own Indiana Downs track record to 149-1.
Gingras and Campbell are going to battle it out in here. It's Foiled Again. Razzle-dazzle on the outside, and Foiled Again has the upper hand. In deep stretch, it's Foiled Again to win.
The $250,000 Monument Circle Match 10 sophomore pacing colts and geldings, and another track record was the result when Better's Edge and David Miller scored in 149-3.
Up on the outside, Better's Edge, and coming from way back, Dynamic Youth. In deep stretch, it's Better's Edge to win it.
The richest of the three major races at Indiana Downs this past Saturday was the Oliver Trotting Classic. The $265,500 stakes drew a four-ply entry, of which one member, Uncle Peter and trainer-driver Jimmy Tactor, took the early lead, but gave up-front Billy and driver Trace Tetrick a very good trip.
Uncle Peter on the inside, on the outside, up front Billy. Uncle Peter and up front Billy. These two in quite a battle. And on the outside, up front Billy and Trace Tetrick to win it.
The next World Driving Championship will be raced in France in June 2013. The U.S. Trotting Association has announced that Jason Bartlett will again wear the red, white, and blue. Bartlett represented the USA in the 2009 championship in Norway and was poised to drive in the 2011 championship here in the USA, but was sidelined by injuries sustained in an auto accident only a few days before the event was to begin. Now Bartlett will have the opportunity to improve upon his sixth-place finish in 2009 and try to unseat the reigning world driving champion Jody Jamieson. The USTA will sponsor a Tour de France that will follow the World Driving Championship when it starts on June 8th. If you are interested, send me an email at i@ustrotting.com and I'll provide you all the information when it becomes finalized. The final leg of the Pacing Triple Crown, the $415,820 Messenger Stakes, has drawn a talented field of 8 sophomore pacers, including stakes winners of Rock and Roll Dance, Bolt the Doer, and Pet Rock. One horse who may rate a second look off a winless record in 2012 is Hillbilly Hanover. Still looking for a win this year, he has been competitive, as seen in this close second to Sweet Lou and the Tattersalls, and his trainer, Ron Burke, spoke with Ken Weingardner.
Perfect gait and an immense talent. You know, probably his biggest negative is the fact that he's over for the year for a reason. He doesn't want to win yet, but you know, a lot of them horses I'm dragging against, that'll come with racing them. So the more we race him, the better he'll get.
Here then is how Trackmaster sees this coming Saturday's Messenger Stakes, as indicated in the exclusive Platinum Pass performances offered by Trackmaster. Power ratings. It's another way to put yourself in the pari-mutuel winner's circle exclusively at Trackmaster.com.
Harness handicappers, this one's for you. Trackmaster Harness Pro is the most unique and powerful handicapping tool dedicated to harness racing on the market today. It's a combination of all the features found in sophisticated handicapping software, all conveniently presented as a web-based, all-in-one handicapping tool. Trackmaster Harness Pro has these exclusive features: top performers, graphs, user-created power ratings, sortable statistics, and PDF race programs included. Trackmaster Harness Pro for the serious player.
Fortunately, there was no loss of life in the harness racing industry, human or equine, when Hurricane Sandy came calling last week. There was, however, some damage to farms and training centers in New Jersey, and Ken Weingardner of our Harness Racing Communications office, once his power was restored in New Jersey, was able to survey what had happened and talk to those who were in the path of the storm.
How has this affected just, working with the horses and the daily routine?
Well, obviously the next day after the storm, we couldn't really do too much. We were picking up the pieces. But it really hasn't affected us. They're getting out, they're getting trained. The track is super. I have to say one thing about Whitebirch track, it's like nothing happened. The only thing is we can't bathe them. They're kind of cruddy, kind of like ourselves. But other than that, we're doing okay.
It's a big cleanup job around. I got a lot of big trees fell down in the paddocks and stuff, but I don't have horses there, so there's no, right now, so there's no big deal. We'll got a lot of time cleaning that up over the winter, but it's yeah, it's we're a lot better off than a lot of people here in New Jersey, that's for sure. I can train a little bit. It's been very nice weather after the storm passed, so it's been good. So it hasn't affected us that much, but...
How did you make it through the storm?
Well, Sandy was pretty scary there for initially, with that wind blowing and the rain coming down, but, luckily we're doing okay. Obviously, we don't have any power here at Gateway, but luckily the farm has a generator, so we're getting fresh water to the horses, and they're able to move on the racetrack, which is the main thing, so.
That was the situation here at Showplace.
Showplace, they did a very good job. I mean, we have water. We're on the racetrack, no major damage, and the crews have done a good job clearing the debris.
Our thanks to Ken for his reports this week. That's it for this week. Our final show of the season comes next week, and we will feature reports on the Messenger Stakes and highlights from the Grand Circuit Week at Balmoral Park. That all happens on the next edition of Eye on Harness Racing.